Greetings, welcome to Facts About Everything. I'm your host, James Egan. Although I've already done a video of 100 facts about Batman, that's just not enough. I mean, there's just too many facts about Batman. Like, did you know there's a Batman from another universe called the Grim Knight? When he was a boy, Bruce Wayne's parents were killed by a thug called Joe Chill in Crime Alley. This is exactly what happened to the Bruce Wayne that we are familiar with. But in this universe, Bruce picked up the thug's gun and shot him dead. He then became a vigilante called the Grim Knight and declared a war on all crime. He is seen as the DC version of the Punisher. And that is the first of 100 facts about Batman. Let's dive in. If you ask any diehard fan what was the first comic that Batman appeared in, they'll easily be able to tell you it was Detective Comics number 27. A lot of people don't realize that comic had lots of stories, and Batman was just one of them. It also included Buck Marshall, the Crimson Avenger, the insidious Dr. Fu Manchu, Speed Saunders, and Cosmo, the Phantom of the Skies. The very first story of Batman was called The Case of the Chemical Syndicate. Batman's parents died when he was 10. In some issues, it says that Bruce's parents died when he was 8. In an alternative universe, a priest called Bruce Wayne became Batman. Bruce has an electrified chandelier in his study that drops to the ground if someone says canasta in its proximity. Only Batman could weaponize a chandelier. After his parents died, Bruce Wayne became psychologically incapable of using a gun. Bruce believes that if he used a gun, he'd be no better than his parents' murderer. To compensate for this, he uses a small blade called the Batarang. However, Batman has used a gun in some stories, probably because the writers just forgot. Batman has taken drastic measures to ensure he does not take another life. However, he did not display this type of behavior in the early comics. In one comic, he killed this guy called the Mad Monk. But he didn't kill him by, stabbing him or pushing him off a cliff. He walked into his house and shot him dead when he was asleep. I mean, the Mad Monk was a vampire sorcerer, but still, cheap shot. He eats a burger with a knife and fork. Robin finds this hilarious. Batman teamed up with Superman for the first time in World's Finest Comics number 71 in 1954. There's a Turkish film called That, where Batman and Superman are combined into one character. Bruce Wayne has an IQ of 192. By comparison, Albert Einstein's IQ was 160. Bruce Wayne is the smartest person in the world apart from Lex Luthor. Although he's known for never taking a life, he killed a crook in the very first appearance. Batman uses magnetic weapons against criminals with metal plates, knowing it makes them susceptible to vertigo. Batman uses Morse code when he's not able to speak, like if he needs to communicate with someone privately in a public area, or if he physically can't talk. After his parents died, Bruce Wayne held a razor blade to his wrist, strongly considering suicide. He was only 10 years old. Batman has a kryptonite ring concealed in his utility belt to use against Superman if he turns evil. If you're wondering if Superman knows about this, the ring was given to Batman by Superman. He can get out of a straitjacket in under 1 minute. He practices with the most difficult straitjacket to remove, a posy. It is the same straitjacket that Arkham Asylum uses on the Joker. According to a stress test, Bruce Wayne doesn't have any. Bruce has spent so many years suffering death and trauma, he has built up an immunity to stress. Batman died for a while. He didn't really die. His consciousness went through the time stream or something. I don't remember. It was a pretty dreadful story. But while he was like dead, superheroes were not allowed to have a funeral for him because if the world got wind that Batman had died, supervillains would run wild. As a result, the original Robin, Dick Grayson, became the new Batman. The first superhero Bruce Wayne ever saw was Alan Scott as Green Lantern, who is now known as the Sentinel. The first supervillain Bruce Wayne ever saw was the Icicle. Batman used to fight crime with his dog, Ace the Bat-Hound. Batman had a bat ape as an ally. His name was Mogo. And you think that's stupid? He is teamed up with a cow. He is called Bat Cow. He has an ultrasonic beacon that can call any bats in the area, which he can use as a major distraction. He is the greatest escape artist in the world. Bruce Wayne was once asked, what did he think about superhero movies? He said, they better not waste screen time on origin nonsense. Hero movies are a waste if there's too much talking. I just like a good smash 'em up. Although he rarely uses a bow and arrow, he's an expert archer. He has studied biology, mathematics, physics, mythology, geography, and history. He can drive a motorcycle, a tank, a helicopter, a boat, a ship, and a jet. He has many types of batarangs, including ones that are heated, drillable, and remote controlled. Before Bruce Wayne became Batman, Bruce Wayne was rescued from freezing to death by a native Alaskan shaman. The shaman wore a bat mask since bats are seen as healing creatures in Inuit mythology. Bruce Wayne took home the Bat mask as a reminder of his philosophy. He makes up a lot of excuses to explain why he has scars all over his body, like rock climbing, skiing accident, car crash, and so on. His endurance is comparable to that of an Olympic decathlon participant. He is an expert in parkour. If someone fired an arrow at him, he can catch it due to his incredible reflexes. He was referred to as the Dark Knight for the first time in Detective Comics number 40 in 1940. Superman brought Batman back in time to the point where Bruce Wayne's parents were killed to remind Batman why he fights crime. Batman snapped and shot the mugger dead to save his parents. But with Bruce's parents alive, Bruce didn't need to turn into Batman. This caused a time paradox that erased Batman from existence. This was fixed when Superman altered the timeline again, so the mugger did kill Bruce's parents. Thanks, Supes, for letting my parents die? Batman works under the cover of night. Batman had become so good at hiding his identity, many criminals in Gotham didn't believe he existed. They thought he was a spook story to keep criminals in line. Batman has fought the Predator. And I don't mean a supervillain called the Predator, like literally the Predator. The monster beat Batman to the brink of death until he had to retreat. Batman built a heavily armored Batsuit and had a rematch with the Predator, defeating him. The writers named Batman Bruce after Robert the Bruce. Robert the Bruce was more famously known as Braveheart, who many people incorrectly believe was William Wallace's title. He rarely drinks alcohol. Criminals set up an ad campaign to pressurize Batman into marriage, believing that he couldn't patrol the streets every night if he had a wife waiting for him alone. Surprisingly, the plan didn't work. Okay, this is one of my favorite comic facts ever. Batman once fought the Phantom of the Library. The story takes place in an art museum because the artist didn't know what a library was. He debuted in his first video game, simply called Batman, in 1986 for the ZX Spectrum. The game was only made by 2 people. Over the years, Batman had a yellow symbol on his torso. Some readers found this odd, as yellow would stand out during the night. The reason why Batman has this yellow emblem is because it has the most concentrated armor. If criminals shoot at Batman, they would naturally shoot the yellow emblem rather than his face. Although Batman claims to work better alone, he has worked with Robin, Nightwing, Red Hood, Red Robin, Oracle, Catwoman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Huntress, Azrael, Commissioner Gordon, Batgirl, Batwoman, Spoiler, Orpheus, Bluebird, Cover, Signal, Riddler, and even Bane. In the 1943 Batman TV series, the titular character is a government agent and drives a normal car. Batman is a fan of Star Wars. When the Justice League learned this, the Flash said, "Did Batman just make a Star Wars reference? Tell me you recorded that. We could play that at the Christmas party." He has a photographic memory. He's fast enough to dodge bullets. Although Batman can take care of himself, he was forced to hire a bodyguard called Sacha Bordeaux when he appears publicly as Bruce Wayne. Due to Bruce's suspicious behavior, Sacha eventually learned that he is Batman. After a grueling training regime, Batman allowed her to become his partner in crime, Cover. When someone comes close to figuring out Bruce Wayne's secret identity, Superman dressed up as Batman so people could see Bruce and the Dark Knight beside each other, disproving they're one and the same. But that's not the only thing Batman did to protect his identity. Like, the dumbest protocol for Batman to protect his identity is when J.J. Jason told Bruce that he knew he was Batman. However, when JJ visited Bruce in his home, he saw Batman standing in the doorway. When Robin asked Bruce who this other Batman is, Bruce told him that he hired a deaf and blind man to impersonate Batman. Wait, if he was deaf and blind, does that mean he was just standing in the doorway, not saying anything? No, that'd be stupid. To make Batman look like he was talking to Jason, Bruce Wayne used his ventriloquism skills to give the illusion that Batman was speaking. This blind and deaf guy was never mentioned again. If Batman needs to examine a body, he will locate the corpse, scan it, and send the information to his Batcomputer. The Batcomputer will create a hologram of the body so Batman can inspect it in the Batcave without being disturbed. Bruce has lip-reading tech. If he says, "lip read, go," a device in his ear reads the lips of the person he is facing and then relays the conversation into Bruce's ear. Most of Batman's equipment is Bat-themed. The Batpod, the Batarangs, the Batwing, the Batmobile. One of the dumbest ones is his data mine, which is called the Batamine. Bruce was so utterly devastated by the death of his parents, he got himself institutionalized. Bruce accepted electroshock therapy, hoping he'd be shocked so much that he wouldn't be himself anymore and he could start his life again. He was on the operating table minutes before the procedure was about to take place. Luckily, he changed his mind. Although Batman emphasizes that he can't kill his enemies, he does cause more damage to them than you could ever imagine. He doesn't just beat them up and they get, like, a broken bone here and there. One villain said that Batman fractured my palate, my sinus bones, both orbital sockets, the bridge of my nose, and cracked my skull clean through at the temples. My upper jaw was left floating unattached, my lower jaw hanging by a thread. It took 11 hours to fix it in surgery. They had to peel my scalp down over my face and put 7 titanium plates, 32 screws. And still, the front of my skull's rotated a few degrees. My jaw was wired for 2 months. My teeth are permanently numb. No sense of smell. Can't barely taste no more. Nerve damage. Jeez, what kind of supervillain did he do that damage to? Two-Face? The Riddler? Joker? No? Tweedledum. Yeah, because that guy's intimidating. Many people have pointed out that no matter how many crimes Batman stops, he can't diminish worldwide crime because, first, he's only one man, secondly, he has no superpowers, and he dedicates most of the time in Gotham. Over time, Batman realized that he had to do something drastic to change the world for the better. He decided to franchise Batman and designated a Batman representative in different countries all over the world to stop all forms of crime. He calls it Batman Inc. The company is publicly funded by Wayne Enterprises. This means that it is common knowledge that Bruce Wayne is using his own money to help Batman, but people still don't know they are the same person. Thanks to the film Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, people know that Batman has a batsuit designed for taking out Superman, but that is not his most powerful suit. If you watch my Justice League video, you know, oh yeah, he built a suit where he could take out the entire Justice League in one go. But that's not his most powerful suit either. His greatest suit is the Hellbat. It is designed to fight gods. It was forged inside a star by Superman and then tweaked to perfection by the rest of the League. However, the suit is so powerful, it draws the energy from the wearer. Bruce's body withers more and more every moment he wears the suit. If he wears it for too long, he will die. He has a Batboat. It can travel 150 miles and 30 knots underwater. Batman defeated King Shark by using shark repellent. This is a reference to how Batman defeated a shark with shark repellent in the 1966 film Batman. Bruce Wayne had a brother. He was 3 years old when his mother fell pregnant with her second child. Sadly, she was in a car crash several months later. Although she wasn't critically injured, she was forced to give birth prematurely. Bruce's baby brother died the next day. For one day, Bruce had a brother called Thomas Wayne Jr. At some point in the comics or the video games or a TV show, you would have seen a big giant penny in the Batcave. Even diehard Batman fans don't realize why it's there, probably because the reason why it keeps changing. In Batman's early adventures, he faced a foe called Joe Coyne. Coyne is better known as the Penny Plunderer. The Plunderer uses a giant penny as a death trap against Batman, but the Caped Crusader escaped. Batman has kept the giant penny in his Batcave as a trophy. Although it's still there in modern comics 70 years later, Penny Plunderer has been written out of the comics. In recent comics, the giant penny is said to be a death trap that was created by Two-Face. The giant penny weighs 216 pounds. Lenny B. Robinson is a businessman from Baltimore County who visits sick kids in hospitals and goes to school to talk about bullying. And he does all this while dressed as Batman. He spent $5,000 on a Batsuit and turned his Lamborghini into a Batmobile. He spends $25,000 on gifts to give to children every year. Batman's cowl is linked to his Batcomputer. If his cowl is not removed a certain way, it will send a virus to the Batcomputer, wiping its entire hard drive. Batman programmed it this way so that if he was ever unmasked, no one would be able to utilize the information that the Batcomputer has collected over the years. Special effects genius Julian Checkley 3D printed his own Batsuit with 23 working gadgets, including a fireball launcher, batarangs, a tracking device, smoke bombs, and a grapple gun. It has more functioning gadgets than any Batsuit, including the one designed for the Batman movies. Bruce Wayne can speak Spanish, French, Latin, German, Japanese, Russian, Cantonese, Mandarin, Greek, Portuguese, Arabic, Sanskrit, Hindi, Thai, and Farsi. He can also probably speak English. After being trained by African Bushmen, he is one of the world's best hunters. He's an atheist. In his own words, I don't believe in God, met a few, didn't believe in them either. Bruce Wayne attended the FBI Academy when he was 18. He didn't complete his training because he thought fighting crime while dressed as a bat made way more sense. Although it sounds like Batman could do anything, he does not know how to use a toaster. He can punch someone through a brick wall. He can hold his breath for 3 minutes and 15 seconds. He received a degree in criminal science, forensics, computer science, chemistry, and engineering when he was 21. In an alternative story set in the future, Bruce Wayne continues to fight as Batman even though he's in his 80s. Because it is physically impossible for him to fight due to his deteriorating health, Bruce merged with the Batcomputer so he can telepathically control hard holograms of Batman. Although these Batmen can punch criminals, they cannot be hit. In an alternative story, Bruce Wayne was shot as a child. This caused his father, Thomas, to become Batman. When a cosmic entity called Telos merged universes together, Bruce's Batman and Thomas's Batman met each other. This was an incredibly emotional moment for both Waynes, not just because they were reunited with one another, but because they both inspired each other to become one of the greatest superheroes in the universe. There's an animal parody of Batman called Batmouse. He has a sleep pellet in his tooth. If he can't use his arms or legs, he will break his own tooth open to knock out anyone nearby. Batman has battled the Looney Tunes character, Elmer Fudd. Although hundreds of people have tried to beat Batman, they were all defeated because he is the world's greatest fighter. However, an evil group called the Colony had an idea. What if they created an army of soldiers who were modeled off the greatest fighter? Batman. By studying every video of Batman in combat, the Colony spent years training soldiers and supplying them with similar gadgets and prototype batsuits. Although the Colony easily defeated Batman, he was rescued by his allies. The Colony was created by Bruce Wayne's uncle, Jake. He has a bat train. However, it does not work like a normal train. It moves 20 times faster than a standard vehicle. According to Robin, it works more like a bullet to slam into a supervillain or a structure. DC tried to reboot their universe in 2005 with All-Star Batman and Robin and All-Star Superman. All-Star Superman is considered to be probably the greatest Superman story ever. All-Star Batman is considered to be the worst Batman story ever. How'd you do it perfectly with one and not the other? In the Batman story, Batman is a lunatic who punches children, smashes through police cars, lets people burn to death while he has sex on a dock, and he eats rats. This is an actual comic. Instead of brass knuckles, Batman has bat knuckles. And yes, each knuckle has a mini bat insignia attached to it, because he is in fact Batman. Bruce can bench press 1,000 pounds. Some of his sillier themed villains include Flamingo, Mr. Toad, Kite Man, Ten-Eyed Man, Humpty Dumpty, Crazy Quilt, Jack in the Box, Bootface, and Polka Dot Man. Kevin Conroy has provided the voice of Batman in animated series, films, and video games for over 25 years.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
The villain Prometheus is often seen as the opposite of Batman. He was the son of two criminals who were gunned down by police. This trauma made Prometheus swear vengeance on the law. Prometheus is one of the few people to beat Batman in combat, and he nearly defeated the entire Justice League single-handedly, even though he has absolutely no superpowers. There is a book called Becoming Batman, The Possibility of a Superhero, which was written by a neuroscientist. It covers how much of an ordinary person would need to train to become Batman. After his parents died, Bruce Wayne wrote a list called How to Move On. These steps included Step 1, disappear. Step 7, feel nothing. Step 21, let everything go. Step 33, make them feel what I feel. Step 45, don't let anyone else leave me. When Alfred found this, he added Step 52, remember that your parents will always be proud of you. Bruce Wayne has had to speak at many funerals. If he gives a eulogy, he usually reads Walt Whitman's 1865 poem, Oh Captain, My Captain. This poem was dedicated to Abraham Lincoln after he died. Serial killing cannibal Jeffrey Dahmer killed 17 people. By comparison, Batman killed 20 people in the first two Batman movies. My childhood hero is technically a serial killer, yeah. Batman knows that he can't defeat Superman in a fair fight. To even the odds, he used something to make himself super smart and turn Superman into an idiot. Batman's brain became so big that his head doubled in size, and he lost his hair, but while Superman turned into a caveman. The weird thing is, this is not the only time Superman was turned into a caveman. And for the final fact, let's look at who would win a fight. Batman and Superman. Now, everyone would say it has to be Superman, but as we saw in the movie, Batman was a moment away from killing the Man of Steel. So the question is, who won in the comics? Well, let's break it down. At this very moment, they have fought 16 times. The first time, it was a draw. The second time, Superman won. Round 3, Batman. Round 4, Batman. Round 5, Batman. Round 6, Batman. Round 7, Batman. Round 8, a draw. Round 9, Batman. Round 10, Superman. Round 11, Superman. Round 12, Superman. Round 13, Superman. Round 14, Superman. Round 15, Superman. Round 16, Batman. This means that Superman has won 7 times, Batman has won 7 times, and they've drawed twice. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Please let me know if you want a video. Please let me know if you want a video about any other superheroes. If you want a video about any other superheroes, let me know and I'll upload it as soon as possible.